Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today is an awesome day as FlySimWare put out their C24 Romeo. This aircraft comes with a couple of different variants and different options for avionics and configurations that we're going to talk about in this video, but we're also going to take it around Tucson for a full flight, so stick around. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides from Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining us on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future releases that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below.
Overkill simulations, watch us as we fly. Overkill simulations, a thrill will never die.
Alright guys, so as I said, the Sierra C24 Romeo has been released from FlySimWare. This aircraft is absolutely phenomenal. Let's see here, we have a normal range between 500 and 600 nautical miles. Obviously weather and how you fly is going to determine some of that. Maximum range of 780 nautical miles. The other things that I was interested in: cruise speed 142 knots for maximum, 131 knots for normal, and economy at 115 to 120. Total fuel capacity is 433 pounds of fuel. I was kind of shocked by that. 200 horsepower engine. So it's going to be very similar to things like the Comanche and the other Pipers and the Warrior and things like that. So it is retractable gear, which we're going to have a lot of fun with. I always like the retractable gear. This comes with a couple of different avionics suites. You can have the G5 or the G3X, as well as the GTN 750 XI or the GNS 530. Now we're going to rock the 530. The reason why I always try to, at least on initial impressions videos, do the 530 is because everybody has it. Not everybody has the GTN 750. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to hop into the seat. And right away, guys, you can see the texturing and modeling of the aircraft is absolutely beautiful. It's got that old aircraft kind of feel to it. Just what you can tell, this one's got the nice leather seats, Corinthian leather. I'm just kidding. Totally, probably not Corinthian leather. I couldn't imagine it'd be Corinthian leather. Maybe it's Corinthian leather. I don't know. Maybe I'm a snob and I put Corinthian leather in my plane. Anyway, and we have a hat shelf. I love that it says hat shelf. What does that say? Oh, no heavy object capacity. Okay, or no heavy objects. Okay, I thought I said something else. I don't know why. Nothing in the bag. Oh, that's kind of sad. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get back up front here. Let's see what's going on back here. What's this? Oh, luggage compartment looks like. What's in the gold case? We need to know what's in that case. Tow bar. Can you remove it? It'd be kind of cool if you could just click on it and pull it out. I'm always looking for different click spots, guys, when it comes to these aircraft. I think the click spots are fun. Oh, we're not going to do that. I have the cover on it. Duh. Let's move up to the next seat. Anything fun back here? This is a first impressions video, guys. The only thing I did was put the covers on everything. Came in, I read through the documentation a little bit, and put that on. So, let's get into how I did that. Let's get into the next step here. Next step here is going to be with this guy right here. Click spot right there. Removes it, adds it, bring it in. And we have our EFB, which pretty much controls everything about the aircraft. Now, it's got a couple of features that I really, really enjoy. So, FYI, you will not find the checklist in the paper documentation. You will, however, find it right there. So keep that in mind. It is in the EFB. Settings, this is how we got everything plugged in there, guys, how we turned everything on. I'm going to turn the headset filter off. I don't know why I had that on. And let's start removing the covers. There we go. And like we talked about earlier, from here we can open all the doors, go back outside. It's kind of a cool little airplane. It really is. The modeling, again, right on par with what we would expect. And FlySimWare does phenomenal work. I love the 414. If you guys haven't checked that out, the 414 is a really fun one. It's very similar to like... I would compare it to like the Cessna 310. I guess you could kind of compare it to the G58, but not quite. I don't know how to explain it. But the 310 is very close to it. So if you like the Milviz Cessna 310, you'll love the 414. They're both really good aircraft. But anyway, come back in here. Let's close our doors back up. You have some light options, map lights, things like that. Nothing too crazy. Moving over to the next tab. I love this tab. I love when they do this. I love when they do this. We can see our wind direction 203 at about 9 knots. You get everything else written right over here. You got an 8 knot tailwind, which would leave about 1 knot coming across the fuselage based on our current positioning. Ambient temperature 102 degrees. They're not lying. This is Tucson, guys, my hometown, where I'm at right now. 39 degrees Celsius. Breaks it back down. We got our altimeter pressure, and it gives you everything in both inches and millibars. So really nice. I really like this. This is really well done. And sorry, the altimeter setting is going to be 27.13 if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, moving on over, we have our fuel load, center of gravity, weights and loadouts. Come over here, and you have tablet click sounds if you want them off. Payload syncs, fuel state saves. So this would be really handy for like NeoFly, which I am going to add this aircraft to NeoFly. So it was funny too, because we just did a video the other day where we got our twin engine rating. So now we might bounce back a little bit and fly this guy for a little while. See what it's like. And then you have your units of measurement, clock hours, and quantity and weight on how you want to distribute that or have that read out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get through the pre-flight and start working through the startup of this aircraft. All right, let's get rolling here. So let's check out and see what we got. So first, gear handle down, controls free, emergency equipment check, gear extension wrench available. We saw that in the back, I think. Magnetos are off, circuit breakers in, electric equipment off, Alton master batteries on. So let's start there. All right, let's remove the plug for a minute. There we go. That's the control lock removed. Controls are now... Did that actually come up? Oh, whoa! Look at that. I've never seen one do that before. Why are you moved over? Come here. There we go. Huh. That would be weird. Lifting it up like that? That'd be odd. All right. I'm too tired. Sorry, guys. I'm losing my mind here. So let's keep going back down, checking everything else that they told us to check on. All right. So that's the landing lights on, taxi lights on, navigation lights are off, beacon lights are... Oh, on, rotating beacon. Electric trim is on, that's fine. Batteries on, alternators on. Parking brake is... That's set, okay, good. Everything else, I'm gonna remove that one too. Circuit breakers are all in. Did a couple things out of order there, I know. Okay, the avionics lights, how do we turn the lights off? Hold on, let's find the lights, because we don't need the lights. Although that's a really cool green. But we don't really need them. So if I wanted to change that, how would I? Cabin heat. Overhead instrument lights, so we're getting closer. More cabin... Oh, instrument lights. There we go. Cool. There we go. We don't need no stinking instrument lights. Although, let's brighten the day up a little bit. And like magic, the time has changed. Okay, so where are we at now? Fuel quantity. Where's my fuel gauges? Well, I don't have my avionics on. Did I miss that? Alternator and batteries are on. Equipment, circuit breakers, magnetos, Nope. So where's my fuel gauge? There's the 430 on. Ah! Nope. Oil temperature, oil pressure. Oh, fuel! Right there. And the other one's behind the keychain. That kind of sucks. Oh, hey, you can get rid of the keychain. Okay, cool. I'm like, that's kind of a problem. It's not like we can see behind that. Okay, that works out. Ultimate master battery flaps down. Boop. That didn't do anything. Watching the flap gauge. Now, does that mean my button doesn't work? No, it works. Okay, so this uses LVARs and BVAR events, or L and B events. So that's not incredibly uncommon. So that's why when I push the button, because it's using a different event. If we used a B event, for example, something like inspad.next, make sure I can get to where I just want to be. You stop it where you want it. Hang on. Oh no, that one worked. There it goes. You gotta be real quick on the tap. And then if you hold it. Okay. Alright. Gotcha. Gotcha. Alright, want to make sure we understood that. And exterior inspection complete. Sure. Oil quantity 6 quarts minimum. Oil temp. Oh, well, we didn't actually do the external check, did we? Is there a way to do an external check? Don't look like it. So let's go to the before start checklist. Pre-flight inspection is complete. Oh, I didn't turn off the alternators and batteries. Let's turn those off. There we go. Tie-downs, shocks are out. Baggage is secure. Passenger briefing is clean. Hey guys, we're gonna fly. Seatbelt signs, if you, or seatbelts and seats, if you guys want. I mean, you don't have to wear a seatbelt. What could happen, right? Brakes, test and set. Sure. The parking brake's on. Electric equipment is off. Gear selector is down. Emergency gear handle is stored. And fuel selector to the fullest. Where is my fuel selector? Is that this guy right here? Nope, that's emergency static air source. Where's my fuel selector? There it is. Alright, so we'll start with the right tank. Can I simply rotate it around? Yep. Actually, here, we'll go start with the left tank. Cool. Alright, so fuel's on. Let's remember that for the next checklist. Let's go to our start checklist. Throttle full forward. Propeller heart. Really? High RPM. Alternate batteries on. Boost pumps on for 3 seconds, then off. Throttle. Okay, yep. Alright, so typical stuff. Alright, let's do this. So, we're first going to go prop to full. Mixture to full. Throttle full forward. Batteries, alternator set to on. Fuel boost pump to 3 seconds. We're watching fuel flow. I actually don't see a fuel flow gauge, which kind of sucks. That would have been nice to see. But that was only supposed to be for 3 seconds. Let's turn that off. Throttle comes back to 1/4 inch. Right about there. Magnetos, set it to both. And let it rip. Hey, we have a started engine. Beautiful. Alright. Probably should have turned the beacon light on, but hey, I'm not counting if you guys aren't. Oh no, I didn't want the strobe. Just want the beacon. Alright, nav light, sure, we'll turn those on too. Even though it's daytime, we probably don't really need them. Let's see here. And hot start, after start is what we're looking for. Throttle 1000 to 1200 RPMs. Well, wait a minute, where's my avionics? Alright, so I'm an idiot. Instrument lights need to be on in order for us to see these. Which that actually kind of sucks. I actually wish that wasn't a requirement. But that's model the plane. I'm not just in the developer on that one. I don't know. I don't like having lights on during the day. Call me weird. I don't know. Okay, so anyway, we are at now 1000 RPMs, right about there. Let's go back to our checklist. And where were we? After start checklist. Amp meter charging. Yes, already verified that. Amps are charging. Lights on as required. I don't need the cockpit lights. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Flaps are up. Avionics are on. Parking brake off. Check brakes. And we're ready for taxi. Huh, alright. Well, we're just going to fly around the city, so we don't really need much. That's already set to on. Later. Let's get our taxi light on, though. There we go. Alright, let's fly. Somebody move my rudder pedals, and that's very rude. It's a very rude thing to do. Who moves a man's rudder pedals? Right? Right. Okay. Alright, I do want to actually review RunUp. Okay. We don't really have a RunUp area for where we're going. Well, actually, we're taxiing all the way. Yeah, we do. We can taxi first. Let's taxi, and then we'll talk RunUp. Da, 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 da. There we go. All right. See how she responds. I feel like I'm like in its face. There we go. And off we go. Brakes are good. Ooh! Taxi speed. Taxi speed. What's the matter with you? Goodness gracious, son. You're not in a race. We're always in a race. And then there was one. You know what to number one. Engine sound sounds really good. The response time is really awesome on the throttle. Like, you really have to give it, get it moving to feel it, which I like. Rudder pedal, rudder responses. Very natural feeling. Almost one-to-one with the actual pedals. Slight delay in the time from when I push it to when I get nose gear response, but minuscule. Can we bring the windows down? There we go. There's that engine sound. Sounds like a little lawnmower. You know what's crazy? So it looks like there's a 747 over there. We really don't get them very often at TIA. I think there's one that still flies out here occasionally as cargo. But I saw the Doomsday plane take off out of here the other day out of Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. Davis-Monthan Air Force Base is right, basically straight up that way. We'll see it when we take off. It's also the home of the storage yard, largest aircraft storage yard in the world. Anyway, I saw the Doomsday plane take off the other day. It was kind of eerie. I don't even know why they were here. A little disconcerting. Like, what are you guys waiting for? Don't worry, I'm not one of those who thinks the world is about to end. We're not that lucky. Okay, set that parking brake. There we go. Alright, let's get after it. So let's go back to our checklist. Alright, seatbelts are cool or secure. Flight controls, we've already verified free and correct. Autopilot electric trim, check off. Electric trim is off. Flight instruments, check and set. Barometric pressure set. All other instruments as desired. Mixture full rich. Mixture is full rich. Prop is full. Throttle to 1900 RPMs. Close enough. Alright. Engine vacuum instruments in the green arc. Fuel flow's good. Oil pressure's good. Oil temperature's good. Cylinder head temperatures. Vacuum in the green. Vacuum in the green. Outside air temperature. Looks good. Amp meter. Check with load. Load amp meter still good. Throttle 1700 RPMs. Okay, close enough. Magneto, left, right, 150 RPM max drop, 50 RPM difference. All right, so we are at 1696. About 50. Good. Not even 100. Back to both. Throttle. Back to idle. Ish. Okay. Emergency takeoff procedures. Yep. Takeoff. Let's see what's under the takeoff. Stop it. Avionics, GPS, and set. Trims are set. Do I have a trim gauge? I don't. I should probably switch over to the right tank though. Rotate at 66 knots. And 71 knots indicated as our climb speed. Climb rate positive. Brake supply. Gear up. Flap slowly up. Alright, so we're going to go... Okay. Flaps are set. Everything's set. Hooah! Got a hair on me. That was weird. Let's do this. Just going to get rid of that for now. Get it out of our way. Release them park and brake. Off we go. Let's get to the runway and get out of here. On the lights. Approach is clear. Runway's clear. Oh. Alright, let's let her rip. Airspeed alive. It's 40 knots. 50 knots. 60. 66 rotating. Ooh, little crosswind. Positive rate. Brakes depressed. Gear coming up. .71 knots climb speed. 24 inches, and let's come on back to about 2,300 RPMs. Flaps. Slowly coming up. Flaps are up. you know what though? I turned the damn trim off. How's that gonna work? That's working. All right, let's bring that back down now. Keep letting that climb rate get way too high. Let's trim it down a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Poor plane's like, give me a chance to accelerate, dude. We'll sort of do a big circuit around Tucson here for a minute. The flight model is very well done. It's feeling very realistic. I'm having to make quite a bit of corrections to the control surfaces. It's definitely it's going to keep you on your toes. And their 414 is the same way. All right, sorry about that, guys. I thought I had a 6-year-old who was choking. So, false alarm, but gotta check it, right? Alright, so, as I said, the aircraft is, the flight model is intense. It's very busy. Let's try to pull it back a little bit now and come out of the climb. I'm back to about 2100 on the RPMs. Damn, it just wants to climb. It's a climber. There we go here. Let's see what's going on. Alright, so let's bring it to the right. We're still climbing, damn it. Get your nose down. This is a nice plane. This is a really nice plane. You've done a really good job here. You're busy. Like I said, so it comes with the G3X or the G5, as we're using now. And you have the option of the GNS 530 or the GTN 750. So we'll make a quick circuit around DM here. Man, but if I let go of that stick, it immediately goes to the freaking nose down. Come on, baby. Work with me. Work with me. There we go. That's better. Nope. Now we're climbing. You're killing me, Smalls. I have the hardest time getting some of these airplanes trimmed out, admittedly. I really do. I find myself fighting with the trim more than I actually get it to work well for me. I'm sure it's a matter of feel, too. You know, that's, at least for me. I'm sure I'll get it in the real thing, but part of my problem too is I spend so much time looking at the instruments versus looking out the window like you're supposed to when you're in VFR, and so it's one of those, like, I can't keep my eyes off it. Like, I keep wanting to look down, so I think I like psych myself into you got to adjust it, rather than I don't think I give the aircraft a chance to settle, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Although I didn't turn my yaw damper on or my flight directors. Not like I really need them. I didn't load a flight plan, but the yaw damper wouldn't hurt. Although I don't know if the yaw damper does anything. Yaw damper do anything if the autopilot is off? It's an interesting question. I actually don't know the answer to that. There's a question for you guys in the comments. Does the yaw damper do anything if the autopilot is off? Because my understanding is the yaw damper makes sense because it's on the autopilot panel, by the way, is a part of the autopilot system. It is to, in cases of adverse yaw effect, if I'm not mistaken, against the aircraft, it automatically puts yaw input in, right? But that wouldn't make sense as a damper, because a damper would reduce yaw input, would it not? I mean, the very definition of a damper. I don't know. Now I'm psyching myself out. If I remember correctly, it controls the yaw effect in the autopilot, but I could be completely full of crap now. I think I might be mistaking that with asymmetric compensation now. I've been doing a lot of work with the 777, getting ready to get that guide out, so now I might have twisted myself up. So there's the boneyard, as most people know it, but it's actually just a storage yard. There is a boneyard, so this is all a storage yard here, and then back over here. And then there's a little section right over here that is technically a boneyard, is where they are actually scrapping the aircraft and taking them apart. But most of these aircraft, within 48, 72 hours, can be flight ready again. Assuming they haven't had all the avionics stripped out of them and whatnot. It all depends on what condition. Most of these are mothballed, but again, what's been happening since they were mothballed, so that really depends too. But for the most part, many of these aircraft are still flight ready, or can be flight ready in a couple of days. Whoa, 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 what was that? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Stop it. You stop it. You behave. Stop it. Alright. I'm going to start bringing up our checklist, though, preparing for our landing procedures. Climb, cruise, we got that part. Get over here. Ah, I didn't mean to do that. Airspeed below 135 knots, gear handle down, okay. Flaps, going to be the white arc. Flaps down below 96 knots. Go around. Doesn't tell me what my approach speed is. That would have been nice to know. I'm assuming we're going to make it about 76 knots. I usually use about 10 knots higher than the rotation when I don't know, and that tends to work out, so that's what we're going to work with today. What's our altitude? We're at 4,000. We need to come down. So now we need to come down. We'll bring it down to about 3,100. Damn. We're just getting beat up here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Damn it. I always forget that. I always forget that. This is a challenging aircraft. The other thing is I'm using the wrong flight stick. I've got another review coming up here of a different flight stick from a company that I don't think many have heard of. It's called FBSim. And I think I have it way too sensitive. Like the cams and everything, it does not take much at all for this thing to move. They're very similar in the construction method to Verpal. And I mean very similar. But anyways, got a review come up of that, so I have it set up right now, and it's very nice. I'll give you guys the hint on that, but I have it very, very, very touchy, and I think that's part of my problem here. I need to tighten this one up quite a bit. All right, let's keep going down. Keep going down. Where's my airport? power off. We're turning and burning. I wonder why that's a red zone. What doesn't it like about that, I wonder? And the RPMs, like that 16 to 1800 range, it really does not like it. I wonder why. $1,900. It's all the way to 2,000. Isn't it? All right, what's the airspeed at? It's gear warning. I roll flaps 20 in here. Below 96, gear coming down. Turn that yaw damper back off because it doesn't matter what it is. We don't land with yaw dampers. Alright, we got full flaps rolled in. Damn, she gets unstable. It gets very loose in the tail. Like the tail really starts to wobble. I can feel it's in the tail. Bleeding so much speed. The flaps that good? Alright, so the flaps are very intense on this. Let's come up one. Get some airspeed back. Oh, I brought them all up. I didn't mean to do that. Flap control's weird. It's approaching a wing stall. I'm gonna bring the flaps up. The only thing that's different is the gear's down. But I cannot get the vertical speed. Alright. Let's try this again. Alright, there's stage 1 flaps. There's flaps 2. We're full power, man. This is a very good aircraft. It's challenging. This thing's very challenging. You gotta be on the ball. That's for sure. Alright, flaps coming in. So I tried to configure way too early. I know what I did. Configured way too early. I wasn't ready. Trying to rock full flaps with the gear down in a mild descent. It just wasn't time. I get it. I know what I did. That's definitely on me, not the airplane. It's definitely, like I said, this is an aircraft you got to be on the game. I'm liking the 70-ish knots approach speed. And let's see. Now, pull that power off. There's our flare. Whoo, not bad. Not bad. Little rough on the approach. Completely my fault. 100% pilot error. That was silly of me to do. We were way too far out. I was way too low to be configuring like that. That's recognized, Captain. Won't make that mistake again. That was good though. But not to say that any of the other aircraft in the sim you can't pick up on it, but it felt different. Like I could feel what was happening to the plane. I understood where the configuration had gone wrong. I understood what I had done wrong. That's why I ended up cleaning up the wings. Left the gear down, but that's why I ended up cleaning it up. Got my airspeed back. Got my flight above the glide slope, and that was intentional. That way I could use the descent angle to manage my airspeed and get configured again nicely. Which is why once we pitched back down, I felt like I had far more control of the aircraft again. This is a really good plane, you guys. This is a really, really good aircraft. I'm really impressed with this. Again, this is the Sierra C24 Romeo from FlySimWare. Multiple liveries. You have the G3X, G5 options for your avionics, and you have the GTN 750 or the GNS 530 as your, I guess, secondary avionics there. Or I should say, sorry, G3X or the G5 as your instrument panel, excuse me. And GTN 750, GNS 530 is the avionics. Alright, so let's see if I can get something right here. And then now we need to go... where was I? Oh, damn it, I hate that button. There we go. This is a really fantastic aircraft. Really, really well done. I'm going to send us back to the parking here, guys, and shut it down for the night. Check out the link down in the description below, you guys. I do recommend, my personal recommendation, always my personal recommendation, I'm going to stress that, is to purchase outside of the marketplace. You're going to get the updates faster, and you have more control of the installation. Okay, so that's just my personal preference. Any update to the aircraft has to be approved. My understanding is that it has to be approved through Microsoft before it can be released to the public, where if you go with somewhere like either the FlySimWare website or Sim Market, where the two places online it's available, once it's published, you can just download it and update it. And the nice thing that I really like about FlySimWare, they are really quick with their updates. You guys will see consistent updates to the aircraft. It was the same thing with the 414 and the same thing with their Learjet. They were pumping out updates like crazy until they got things ironed out. There's two schools of thought there that I always hear, and I understand both sides of it. When you have multiple rapid updates like that, well, then it gets kind of annoying because you're constantly having to re-download it. Because it was like for a while there, once a week, I was getting an email, hey, your aircraft has been updated, blah, blah, blah. And so that kind of thing can get, excuse me, can get frustrating and annoying. I'm just going to park it here. But on the other hand, right, you get the updates faster. It shows they're getting the work done. So some people like, you know, one update a month kind of thing and just a big package. Others like, you know, I'd rather just keep the fixes coming, right? And, you know, that way each time you fly it, you may get something better and better the deal. So just a heads up on that, and you can always review their change logs and decide if it's something that you want to update for their patches. Let's go ahead and kill that. I just realized I never rolled that window up. Oops. Anyway. So they do a very good job with their update sequences or their update cycles. What else we got? Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. You know what the other thing that I did is I never switched the tanks. Guarantee that's not right. But we'll shut them off now. And I think that's everything. Cool. Anyways, guys, so yeah, that's the FlySimWare C24 Romeo. Make sure you guys check it out. Link down in the description to FlySimWare. Fantastic job with your aircraft here. I'm blown away by it. This is a really fun little plane. Challenging. Very, very challenging. I also recommend, guys, if you're into the prop aircraft, you want a really great dual engine. Remember what I said earlier, the Cessna 414. Absolutely amazing aircraft. Amazing aircraft. Very challenging. Very, very challenging plane. You'll get your money's worth out of it, especially once you get it ironed out and understand that, hey, I can't fly this one like a game. And this is the same way. If you buy this, flying it like a game, you're not gonna like it, okay? But if you fly it because you want an aircraft that's going to be challenging, keep you on toes, and keep you flying the plane, this is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So as always, guys, stay safe and healthy, and I shall see you in the next one. Take care.